Hello, Flamingo. How are you? Right, I just got on. Hello, derogatory me. It's like a dreary, wet day out here today, so I've just been kind of like doing quiet stuff, like research stuff, behind the scenes stuff. Nothing super exciting, but at least it's not a bajillion degrees outside today, so that is a plus. How's everyone else's? What's today? Wednesday. How's everybody else's Wednesday? Oh my goodness. Yes, that is true. My God, a couple times this week I've gone outside and my nose just starts dripping like it's nobody's business. It's nastiness. Dun dun dun. Hi, Lee. Let me... So last night was craft night. We also did stuff about wards and sigils. And then tomorrow I'm going to do an energy basics class right here for all my super fan peeps. So some fun stuff coming up. Oh, and our next guided meditation is on Sunday. Sunday. Lee, thanks for the hat and the mustache. What's your question? Hello, Ken. Hold on, Jack is chomping on his feet like it's nobody's business. Here you go. I hope everyone's having a fabulous Wednesday. I'm going to do a free energy read when we get to 10K likes. And then I'm going to open, I think, like 2 spots. I'm not going to open a ton of spots today, but I'm going to open 2, I think. And then I think our first readings on Patreon are coming up soon too, I think. Everybody's so quiet. Lee, if you posted your question, it didn't come through. I don't know if it got filtered. Oh, it's supposed to be today. Oh, that's good to know. We're going to have to move that. Yep. I think I'm going to move it to Friday. That feels better. Yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be. Hello, Kendra. How are you? Do, 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 do. Lee, are there a lot of things that like pique your interest? Like, do you, like, if you sat down and started going through what your passions were, are there a couple of them that you're stuck between? Yeah, I have to be honest. Politics doesn't feel like something that lines up with how you energetically feel. It feels like really what I'm supposed to say, because the strongest thing coming through is, what are you passionate about, and how do you start trusting in the intuitive hits that come about that? Does that make sense? I'm going to tell you though, politics doesn't feel very aligned. So I don't want to dismiss you from it. Truthfully, I don't. But I want to really focus on the making sure that you're able to be present with what your body is telling you that you're passionate about, versus just trying to find a place to put yourself. Does that make sense? Laura, thanks for the rose. So please trust your intuition, Lee, because I feel like you know what the answer to this is, but it's not something that people are really excited about for you. Like there's going to be a little bit of like resistance to it. But don't let that stop you. Thanks for letting me be helpful with that. I hope it was helpful, Lee. I feel like you already know the answer though. Thanks for the heart me rain. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. What's everybody up to today? Anything fun and exciting? Lee, let me ask you something. Are you someone who has the, like, you constantly need to keep being busy and keep doing things? Bummer, but also that's a plus. So I don't want to say yay, but also I do. Does that make sense? That's a bummer. I wonder if it's sickness season. It sounds like a lot of sicknesses are going around. So, Lee, what I am going to say is find time where you can be present with yourself and start asking yourself, what are the things that I really love to do? What are the things that I want to do? And not come at it from a place of, well, how do I make money, or how do I make myself or people, like, how do I make people proud of me over myself? Try to just take some time to be present and see what information may come through. Because I think that you're a little more connected to your guides than you give yourself credit for. Does that make sense? I think you get more intuitive messages than you let on, because I think you struggle with believing whether you made them up or that they actually came through. Sit and be presently. See what comes through. Truthfully. I think you will be surprised at how much you actually do get an answer. I wouldn't say that I've done per se goddess work. I do some deity work. Some of them I guess could be considered that, but I wouldn't say I've like done any very in particular. Like there are some deities that I've worked with. No, Fox, because you're a liar. I will tell you, Flamingo, that take the dream to be a place where you can meet them, because a lot of the times you meet them in the liminal spaces, and a lot of the time it's easier for them to communicate with us through the dream realm, so to speak. Sir, stop it. Sorry, dog's driving me nuts. So take it and see. You can also ask your guides questions about it too, Flamingo, and see what they say. You can ask for confirmations around like what you saw, what you heard through it too. Don't write it off though. Bum, bum, bum. If the internet starts acting up, someone's also going to have to tell me. Ken, want to do your card for the day? Also tomorrow, live on TikTok here, I'm going to be doing an energy basics class for super fans. So if you're someone who is one of those and you're a part of the alley, feel free to come hang out. And today, as soon as we get to 10K likes, I'm going to do a free reading when we get to 10K. All right, let's see. I'm going to re-roll this. Yeah, sometimes they just show up. Sometimes, depending on things that they may be able to help you with, new journeys that you're going to start embarking on, they'll show up to be helpful. All right. Well, learn my lesson. Ken, which one would you like, left or right? Kendra, thanks for the heart, me. This is the time card. Planning, making decisions, and taking risks. Let's see. Do everything you want to do before your time is up. Live the life you want and don't wait for anyone or anything. Don't get to the end of the road with any regrets, and if there's something you want to do, then do it. Stop waiting for the right time. Now is the right time. Less thinking, more doing. Stop fearing the unknown and stop doubting and start imagining all the possible possibilities. Nothing is set in stone, so have the courage and the willpower to try. The universe and your spirit guides have your back, and your spirit team wants what's best for you. They want you to enjoy this life to the fullest. Lessons are presented to you, and you must learn so that your dreams and desires can align perfectly. Go through what you need to experience and feel and learn to heal. Going through it is the only way to get what you want. Make positive changes if you aren't happy. You hold the power for your own happiness, so exude gratitude and it will all work out. The affirmation is, I give myself permission to thrive and I am attracting high vibrational experiences into my life. Ken, that was fab. Love that. It's very fitting. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday. Last night we did some sigils and ward stuff in craft class. Tomorrow I'm going to do an energy basics class on here for people who are super fans. And then our next guided meditation is on Sunday if you're someone who hangs out in the Patreon. Oh, and then the mediumship development class is on the 24th. I have I have to count again. I have 3 or 4 spots left for that class if you are someone who would like to come hang out. We just did the past life class, which was super fun. This is a little similar, but also a little different. You're also going to be able to connect to your mediumship mentor too through the process. So it's going to be super fun. Thank you for the heart, me. Bum, bum, bum. Hi, Soul. Thank you. I've been waiting for an opportunity to wear them again, but it's been too hot, so I haven't really been wearing them. But now it's back. Da, da, da. Hey, Rain, do you want a card? I kind of want to pull you a talisman if you would like one. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're going to do a free... I got these from a company called Mexicali Blue. And I love them. I have so many different colors of them. They're the bomb. The bomb. Okay, let's see. It's just been sometimes it's just too hot for pants. Does that make sense? Choo-choo. We're going to do a free energy read when we get to 10K. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys for tippy tapping. Then I'm going to open the list for the day. I'm not going to do many, just a couple. And I'm also here to answer questions. So if you have questions about like your own journey, things that you're doing for yourself, I'm more than happy to chat through them. All right, let's see. Rain, this is the mindfulness card. Let's see. There is a lot of beauty in the stillness of the mind. Allowing ourselves to be present in the moment and not worry about how things could have been or what we could have done better can open our minds to the treasures of what we have to be thankful for. With great patience and perseverance, we can accomplish anything. It's best not to rush into action or judgment too quickly. Often, patience is not about how long we can wait, but what we do with our time while waiting. We can learn to be grateful for every moment of our day, even when we feel stuck and things don't go our way. Like the praying mantis, staying mindful will make all of your endeavors more fruitful and meaningful. I am still is the affirmation of this talisman. That's also a theme today, it seems. Hello, Arlie. How are you? I hope everyone's having a beautiful Wednesday. It's a gloomy day. It started raining. Luckily, I was able to be out and about before that happened, so I can't complain there. I was able to get some reading done. Right, I'm a big fan of this deck. Our next art and craft night, we're going to do sacred geometry stuff if you want to come hang out, Rain. It's going to be a blast. Oh, don't forget to move your body today. And whatever that means, whether you want to go stretch, whether you want to do some dancing. Is it? That's crazy. Does it usually snow in May? Get it, girl. I'm a big fan of walking. Really am. Oh, girl, you're okay. We just hung out. We talked about stuff. Some people made their own sigils. We talked about ways that you can ward stuff. What are wards? We broke down the literal difference between them and it's just different kinds of stuff. So it was super fun. Yeah, I get that, soul, 1,000%. I actually am kind of at the point in my life where I don't want to make any decisions or like talk to anybody about anything unless I've had my walk for the day. I'm really at that point. Like, don't look at me, don't talk to me. When I come back, then I'll be functional and doing things. I used to do the daily collective before my walk, and now I wait until afterwards. It just feels more centered. Yeah, it feels more centered in that way. And making walking meditations out of it has really been like the fun part of it. You guys are almost at 10K. Look at that. Tap, 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 tap. That was super quick. Boom. Lee, it doesn't have to be. So here's one of the things. Your passion doesn't, oh my gosh. Okay. Get it, Walmart. Your passion doesn't have to be something to be seen as work. You can make money from anything. You can make money from anything that you have a passion for. So like I used to work in human trafficking and criminal justice. And then I started an intuitive business because that's where my passion was. I wanted to help people without red tape or politics or federal funding. So I found a way to make my passion into work, right? And do some people have different opinions about that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But that's on them, right? So, you know, there are plenty of people who their favorite thing to do is draw. Their favorite thing to do is paint, and they can make work out of it. So broaden your horizons versus if money wasn't the issue, what could you love to do that you could make something out of? Okay, so we're gonna do a free reading because we got to 10K. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a spirit-led one or if I want to do the number game. I don't thank you for the heart, me. I think I'm gonna do it spirit-led versus the number game. You're welcome, Lee. Sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in the fear of lack and resources and money and stuff. But one of the biggest things that my guides have taught me is if you keep making the next right thing with intended action, the universe will support it. Flamingo, I would like to give this reading to you if you would like it. Now I have a hangnail. That's annoying. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do an energy read. So the way that I do those is I come over into your space and I just kind of start doing a body scan and getting whatever comes through energetically. Sometimes if your guides are really got a lot to say, they'll step forward. Other times I just ask my guide some questions about stuff within your auric field. So if that sounds exciting to you, can I come over and visit? Okay, let's see. Two questions. Do you deal with allergies? Like sinus stuff? Hi, Hunter. How are you? And then, have you recently taken on a responsibility? Jack. Okay. All right, I'm just going to start telling you what is coming through. So the first thing when I clicked in here was sinus pressure. That was the first thing I noticed, was it feels like there's a lot of heavy sinus pressure up in here. A lot of the times this can also be around our third eye too. The fogginess kind of can start to physically manifest in the sinus department. The other thing that I first noticed too was how heavy your shoulders are. And this isn't like a constant heavy. This is I've taken on a new responsibility to my already heavy shoulders. Next thing is, do you find yourself sometimes not always sharing your like emotions and sometimes your opinions, and you kind of just sometimes close your mouth and make yourself small? Hi from North Carolina. Hi, neighbor. Okay, the other thing too, so this, you might sometimes start to notice that you have what feels like an invisible ball in your throat. Whenever you notice that, like if you're debating going to say something, if you feel that ball, let it fly, because that is the energy getting trapped in your throat chakra of you holding it back, pushing it back down. The other thing too is, I definitely, when I get to your belly, there is a cord that connects from your solar plexus to your throat. And so that has to do with a lot around self-worth and beliefs around being able to share our truth, share our experience, things like that. So deconstructing some of those belief systems, because I just have this gut feeling that there was someone who has kind of portrayed this belief system onto you of the things you have to say aren't really worthwhile. It's safer to keep your mouth shut. It's safer not to be seen. And so the more you work through some of that in the solar plexus, it'll help open up this a little bit more. Have you recently started working on being a people pleaser? So energetically, I can tell that. So I want to give you credit to that because I was directed to the looking behind, right? And I just see that there have been a lot of times where you've put yourself on the back burner to take care of everybody else. And it looks like you poured out of an empty cup for a while. And so it also feels too, when I look more towards your heart space, do you have some people in your life who their love is maybe feels conditional, dependent on how much you can do for them or how useful you are? I'm glad. I love that. Okay. I'm going to ask you one more question because this is the last thing that's really coming up really strong is, do you deal with sometimes pain right in the back of your heart space, right between your shoulder blades? Okay, so energetically, the reason that I see for this when this happens is resentment and betrayal of ourselves, right? So a lot of the times we hold betrayal trauma right in the back of our heart space, and the resentment kind of creeps up in our neck. So it gives me the impression that there are parts of you that you feel that you've let down or betrayed. And as you do shadow work, the more you'll start to love and accept those parts and integrate them. And I think you'll start to notice a big shift within that feeling. 'Cause it feels like from here up sometimes can be like chronic pain zone. Does that make sense? Flamingo, I'm going to pull you a talisman. Thanks for letting me come over and visit in your energy. And whenever you get that feeling that you want to run out of your body, try and do some grounding work and see how it feels in the moment. All right, let's see. This is the creativity card. Let's see. Spider silk is 5 times stronger than steel. The spider has found the most beautiful way to create a form that possesses strength, flexibility, delicacy, and enticement. The seed of life at the top reminds us that the evolution of this creative form takes time and can be dormant before it's ready to be released into the world. At the center, you can see a pentagram with 5 elements. Look for inspiration everywhere around you. This card can mean creating a project or using artistry in a delicate situation. A little bit of creativity can go a long way and can brighten your spirit and lighten up the mood. Sometimes we instinctively try to use force to make something happen, but more often a creative approach will yield more fruitful results. Flamingo, that was fabulous. I love that. Thank you for letting me come visit and trusting me in your energy. It is always an honor and a privilege. If you are someone who's just come in, hello, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Give me 2.5 seconds because there is milk outside and I have got to go get it. have returned. Sorry, I had to go grab that. There was yogurt and milk just sitting outside. Hi, Jen Marie. And then I got chicken salad, and I found these things for the first time ever. So I'll let you know how they go. But I do want to tell you that Javi coffee stuff has really been great. I'm honestly super shocked by it. Jen Marie, how's your day, my friend? What you up to? I hope everyone's having a great day. Thanks for bearing with me while I went and grabbed my stuff. I have 2 reading spots open if you want to do something energy-wise, past life-wise, spirit guide-wise. I have 3 or 4 spots left for the mediumship class. I do have to go back and recount, but I have 3 or 4 slots left for that class. And what else? Oh, tomorrow I'm going to do an energy basics class right here on the old TikTok. Right? I found this really cool chicken salad recipe that I am dying to try. I will report back. I will report back. Jen Marie, you want your card for the day? Come on. You can come up here if you want. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. All right, let's see. This is the apprentice card. Higher education, beliefs, and wisdom. Let's see. This card is not about the kind of learning you gain from reading a book. It's about listening to and learning from your higher self. It's about learning to place your trust in a higher power. This is what you're learning, and all will be yours, and your heart's desires are manifesting through beginning to understand how the universe works. Dream your biggest dream and hold it in your heart. You must remain clear on the vision. If your lights, then it lights you beyond measure, then you can achieve it. You are deserving, and a plan will help you focus. Do not detour. Spirits are guiding you to light, and you have come so far, and they are so proud. If you feel lost, pursue your bliss and follow what you enjoy. It is that simple. Do not focus on monetary value or gain, and do not focus on desired outcomes or success. Simply do it because you love to do it. Try making a list of what you love to do, and if you don't know what you love to do, try everything. The vibration of learning allows us to appreciate what is. Low vibrational beings experience agitation through higher learning because their belief system and consciousness aren't aligned with universal truth. High vibrational beings know it is a waste of energy trying to teach people who have not ascended about universal truth. The information you're learning and the knowledge you're gaining is from your benefit and for those on the higher plane of consciousness. That was fabulous, Jen Marie. I'm a big fan of this deck still. This is like the OG deck. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Wednesday. It's good to see you. You're so welcome. Last night we did award and sigils class in the Discord during craft night. It was fun. Today we're hanging out. We're doing oracle cards. We did a free reading at 10K. I have 2 reading spots if you're someone who wants to get on the list. It is $22 a spot. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing an energy basics class right here on TikTok for my super fans. And then Friday, we're going to do the Patreon readings. It's the first live of the month over there for people's readings. I'm going to post a video about receiving blocks in the next few days. And then Sunday is our next guided meditation and energy work. Jen Marie, thanks for lighting up the finger hearts. And then we're doing a mediumship development class on May 24th. And there is 3 or 4 slots left if you are someone who would like to come hang out. It's gonna be a blast. Hi, Stacy. Happy Wednesday. Don't forget to hydrate too, peeps. Very importante on the hydration department. How are you? Yeah, most definitely, Lee. Most definitely. All the links should be right up in the beacon. I see you over there. Don't think I don't. Oh, yeah. Don't worry. I have my days too, girl. I really do. Some days I have my day. I am really sad because, I don't know, you guys know that new cup I just got? Broken. Already broken. I'm so mad about it. I don't want to crack on the coldest, but it's a pretty shittily made cup, unfortunately, for $30. So I'm going back to the tried and true Camelback cups because they last forever, and they don't break. So, learned my lesson. Trying to branch out did not go very well. Learned my lesson. And I have to tell you, Camelback is cheaper than those. So, I got you, Lee. All right, let's see. I gotcha. Okay, Lee, do I have permission to come on over and visit? Sorry if you guys hear Jack over here. He's corn cobbing all of his toys right now. I don't know why. Lee, let me ask you something. For your, like a majority of your life, have you always had a different perspective of things than most people? You better come get your client because he's chewing everything but his toenails. Lee, I have another question. Is insecurity something that's been prevalent a lot through your life? And I don't mean just like physical insecurity, but like insecurity around resources, insecurity about the way you're perceived, insecurity about being enough for other people. Hello, Heather. Okay, I'm getting some information that I just want to make sure that I'm receiving it properly. Do you find that sometimes you go through certain cycles? I can tell we're going to get there. Do you find that you go through certain cycles in life that you have like some of the same patterns that repeat? And it also gives me the impression that things seem to go well for a little while and then they kind of seem to completely derail. Does this make sense? Okay. So the other thing too is one of the biggest things that I notice is when I go to your left foot, there is like a density here, which usually leads me to a fear of the future. But this feels different. So let me ask a question about it because it doesn't feel like a normal fear of the future. It's a fear of failure. Does that make sense? Here's the other thing. It's funny you bring up the compassion piece because I've been brought up here multiple times, which is bringing a couple of things. So Do you struggle to show your authentic self to other people? Like, do you struggle to be very up and honest about your emotions, your feelings, and your viewpoints to people unless they're like really, really close to you? Do you like technology? Is there something about technology you find really interesting and intriguing? Okay, so let me just tell you what I'm seeing, and you let it ride with you how it sounds. So they give me the inclination that you are someone who likes to intellectualize things. It gives me the impression of like a deep thinker, likes to know why, right? You're someone who wants to ask questions, you want to know the why behind it. And it also feels like there are some times where you see how things could be better done differently that other people can't see in the moment, which sometimes can cause a clash. But I feel that you are someone who, I don't want to say nitpicky because that's not the word, but like you're very detail oriented with things, especially if it's something that you're very knowledgeable about. You want it done right. So when you're looking at a career, is there something that fits that parameter that is stuck out to you? Hi, Leah. It's more in the way of, I think you have the ability to see a more efficient way to do things than what's usually normally accepted by society. I keep getting like this like failure to launch thing. So I'm going to ask another question about this real quick. Hi, Claire. Because I'm getting the impression that there's a self-esteem block, and that you also struggle to give yourself grace. And that fear of failure is holding you back from being able to see things that you can do. And then also, it feels like, do you have do you sometimes struggle with like a quick attention span? Like something can be very interesting for a while, but then it kind of loses its luster. All right, Lee, I know this isn't really what your question is around as far as the spirit guide stuff goes, but they're bringing me more information that I just want to tell you about. Okay, Stacy, I see you. So have you recently started looking inward to try to understand the way you react and see things more deeply? Because they've given me this image very, like, it's coming through a bunch of times of you looking out and looking at all these things externally for a very long time, and then they give me the image of you starting to make changes to look in the mirror to understand who you are at a fundamental level versus trying to figure out everything else. Please stop. Oh my God, you are driving me fucking nuts. Stop. Lee, have you ever thought about having your own business? So this is going to be a really weird way to explain this. I've tried to tap into this multiple times and your guys keep pushing me somewhere else. And so I think I understand the reason, but I'm not going to speak for them in that entirety of that. So the need to be perfect before making a step will prevent the step from ever happening. And so a lot of the times we as human beings hold ourselves back from doing things because it's not worthwhile to do it if it isn't perfect. And in that, we lose the beauty of the experience and the challenges and the failures to be able to learn from. Bye, Flamingo. And when I keep asking them questions, I keep getting brought directly back to your root and your solar plexus, which tells me that you are one of the biggest barriers to this new idea coming to fruition. And this is not a shame way of any means. We listen and we don't judge in this space. You are holding on to some fundamental beliefs that are stopping you from being able to have that experience. Because we all have to fail at some things for them not to work out, for us to learn from, to know where to pivot, to have the experience of it. So you might not have all the answers, right? But you have the drive and you have the passion. So they're giving me the impression that there is something, and here's the thing, they keep seeing me, like, I keep getting an image of you like sitting over a laptop. It's like a silver laptop, if that makes any specific difference. And it's like you putting in research and time, and they want me to articulate to you that doing the work is that in itself, and it's also that intended action behind it. So there is some fears, Lee, in some beliefs that you're holding on to that are actively in the way of this. So it might be worth it to look into in more of that inward work, right? In that shadow work. I understand that completely, 100%. I do think, though, that there is sometimes the way we look at things is where the perspective change is needed. I'm going to tell you my story real quick, okay? Everybody knows WD-40. WD-40 stands for water displacement at the 40th attempt. So if WD-40 didn't fail 39 times before the 40th, we would not have it. And now everybody has one in their home, basically. Everybody basically has a can of WD-40. But it took 39 failures to get to that prominent can. And so, as hard as it may be, instead of looking at it as, oh, I failed, it's a stopping point, what if the perspective change came as, this is something I can learn from and adjust from? Does that make sense? There's also something about being able to give yourself grace. And I think you know that I think that's one of the reasons you find that you may struggle with compassion, because when we can't give compassion to ourselves, we won't be able to extend it to anybody else, because we're just emulating what we think it is versus working from the understanding of what it actually is. It's the same thing with love. Also, I'm going to say one more thing here, Lee, before I step out of this space, but the more inward work that you do, the more it will reflect on the outside. So the more you work on the beliefs that you're holding on to, the fears that you're holding on to, and you understand why they exist and how they are triggered, the more you will be able to work with them and incorporate them. Because a lot of the times that fear of failure will stop us from ever jumping off. And that's where we get stuck in that loop and repeating the pattern. And that's one of the hardest things, is when we are holding ourselves back and we don't know what the limit is, and the limit is our own belief system and our own capacity for what we can accomplish to those belief systems. Does that make sense? Lee, I have one more question. Are you someone have you been told that you're good at talking? Like you're good at articulating points and getting different viewpoints across? And then, because there's something about that. There's something about the way that there's something about the way that you have the ability to express yourself. You have the ability to talk to people and get them to see different viewpoints. And as soon as you come into the belief of that, you will be able to start using it more and start sharing it with other people. The other thing too, Lee, I don't know if you've ever looked into it or not, but you can look into your soul contracts. I do them for people. There are a bunch of people who also do them. Your soul contract basically breaks down the reasons your soul has incarnated in this time frame and the lessons it's agreeing to learn. And I know a lot of people use that as the jumping off point to start to understand themselves and why some of the things they are experiencing are happening. And once you're able to see it, you can understand the lesson and the gift a little bit better. So it might be something you want to check out. I know for me, I did mine. When I first started my business, it was something that I looked into. And one of my biggest learning curves in my soul contract was, one of my biggest things is I was here to take my power back. And until I was told that, I kept running from it because I was afraid of it and I didn't understand why. And once I realized you're here to learn to face that fear, it was much easier for me to grab onto it and hold it. So it may be something to look into too, especially if you're looking for like kind of a waypoint of not so much how you're built, but why you're built the way you are. I also pulled you, this is the grounding talisman. So let's see. The anchor in this card represents grounding and stability. A long-awaited relationship, position, or financial compensation will become permanent. You can now ease your mind and focus on the desired security. This card can mean finally seeing the light after a challenging period. The stormy weather is over and you can now adjust to the new steady pace in life. Don't be afraid to take a chance, but choose the option with long-term beneficial results if the opportunity arises. The affirmation for this card is, I know I am safe and secure. Hi, my star friend. Hi, Yodi. Lee, that was great, I must say. Thank you for allowing me to come over and be in your space. I appreciate you. And I know it's not the answer you want, but there is no instant answer. That's the best way I can say it. It's all one of those, the intended action we put into it is where we'll start to notice things. And I think you're already starting to do some of that internal work that's needed. So I hope you give yourself the compassion for that. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the finger hearts. youthebomb.com. I hope you're all having a beautiful Wednesday. Stacy, my friend. What kind of reading are we doing? Thank you for lighting up the hand hearts, Claire, youthebomb.com. We doing spirit guide, energy work, or past lives, Stace? What sounds good? Lee, it's always an honor when you come visit, so thank you. Feel free to come hang out with us too. If you want to come hang out in the Discord, there's a ton of resources. Energy work, there's meditations on YouTube to connect into your guides. There's so much stuff if you wanted to start diving into that and building that trust in yourself. Feel free. Okay. See, so you're like a little, how do I say this? Have you just been dealing with like tiredness lately? Just like emotional, physical, just tired. Are you taking on some emotional responsibility for other people recently? If I said to you that, do you lately feel like you're on a quest to rediscover yourself? Does that make sense? Okay, because show me like we're at a crossroads, it feels like. And it feels like you're at this place where it's like, I'm going to start making these decisions for myself and I'm going to start putting myself as the priority. And then there's the other part that's still dealing with how that may feel selfish. And there's also something about like how it's been a long time coming to start focusing on you and doing things for you, because it feels like, and it looks like you've been in service to people for quite a while for a lot of things. It looks like you are someone who people see as like a foundational rock, especially when they're dealing with tough things. Are you someone who is starting to learn to process your emotions and your feelings and especially things from the past? I get the impression that you have, because they are really showing me like a lot of the things that kind of you have, you know, kind of dealt with in your life, and the way that you're starting to kind of actually reflect on them. It gives me the impression that there was a lot of times where it was like, well, I just got to keep pushing. It is what it is. And now you're starting to finally take time to how things affect you and where you hold things in your body. Do you deal with hip issues? Okay. All right. Because I keep getting drawn to left hip specifically. And it feels like there are times where there's like some denseness that hangs out in there, and it's some trapped emotion. The other thing too is it feels like there is a lot of hurt that's happened in your life that you're starting to look at and hold people to a standard of for it. It also gives me the impression that there's some forgiveness that is starting to work through, not so much for the other people, but for you at the place of starting to come to an understanding and work through it. Because I get the impression that you are gone through this phase of starting to realize that other people really are responsible for their own internal world, and it's not something that you can control for them. Can I ask you another question? Is there something recently about like a job or something, like changing, taking on something? Like, is there something to that recently? It feels like a change or a transition. Okay. I feel like there's something there. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's come up a couple times now. So just kind of put it on the back burner. But it feels like there's a change in a transition of I think it's taking on new roles within doing that. Like let me just ask you, have you wanted to help people with opening your gifts? Okay. I really think it has to do with that. So just put a pin in that, because I think you've wondered a couple times if that's something you're ever going to be able to do. And it definitely is. So I just want to put that there, that it's not improbable or impossible. Have you been also, as far as that goes, have you been seeing more mind images lately than you have been before? And it seems like you're starting to sit with them too. Yeah, he kept bringing it up like multiple times. So I'm glad, because I really didn't know where he was going with that. But he was talking about like a change and transition in the way you can help people and like work with people. And he says that it feels impossible, but it isn't. So I want to just take a moment to say that they've acknowledged that you have been open more to it, because it seems like there was a while there in the past where you really weren't very open to them. It felt a little overstimulating, I get the impression of. And so are you also starting to get intrusive thoughts? Maybe particularly in the form of music. Okay, stay tuned, because I think that's your next one to come on board. So pay attention to those random intrusive thoughts that come in. especially if you randomly get a song in your head from, you know, that you haven't thought about or you haven't recently heard. Have you been asking for confirmation to more like signs and confirmations from them? Okay. They're very specifically showing me like a lighter colored bird. I almost want to say it looks like a dove, but it's too light to be that. So just be aware of some of the repeating synchronicities that pop up. Are you working on self-love? Okay. The more you become in tune with that and connecting to yourself, because he keeps bringing me here and he is giving me the impression that there are some times it feels like there isn't enough love or support, or that the love and support you give isn't ever equally reciprocal or reciprocated, so to speak. And so the more internal work you do on A, that receiving portion, and B, being able to encompass yourself more in love, the more you'll be able to open yourself up to this stuff as well, gift wise. Because I have the impression that there have been a couple times, whether it's in a dream or whether, you know, it's in quick glimpses, that you are able to sense and see your guides more so now than ever have before. There's also one more thing that I do want to bring up real quick. Have you been thinking more about doing grounding stuff and being more like present with your energy foundations and your energy hygiene? Hi, Dink. I'm especially getting drawn to your feet, and I think the more grounding work that you do in being present with being able to center your energy and bring it into a space, I think the more messages you'll start to receive as you are keen on that energetic hygiene, and also making sure that you are starting to be cognizant of who you interact with and then clearing your energy after those interactions. Because it feels like sometimes there are some people who you may be around that have some like pretty heavy emotional energy. Does that make sense? When I just read that, I was just given this very quick statement of don't hold on to things because you don't want someone to save someone from the way that you felt before. Does that make sense? I get, whenever some of these questions come up, one of the very common symbols they'll show me is someone holding on to like a sharp object really tightly. And you'll see how like it's literally like making them bleed, but they're still holding on to it. That's like one of the, like a very common symbol my guides give me when I'm trying to ask questions about the information coming in. You can't save people from their experiences, Stacy. Sometimes the greatest act of love is letting someone go. All right, I'm gonna pull you a talisman. Thank you for letting me come over there and be nosy. The other thing I do want to say too is feel free to sit with your guides and ask them about the heaviness here, because it feels like there's some, like it's a mix of emotion and indecision, and ask them if they can give you some guidance right around the best way to approach the situation. But I think you already know the answer. It's just about fine-tuning the how. Does that make sense? I'm gonna pull you a talisman too. Let's see. This is the Balanced Emotions Talisman. Jellyfish are graceful creatures that trust the ocean's currents to take them to their destination. Take a moment to evaluate the way you spend your energy. Sometimes we cannot see the grand picture and we get caught up in the moment. If we are unable to see the lesson a situation is teaching us, we can get entangled in our emotions and the need for control. Are you holding on too tightly to feelings that don't serve you well? It's easier to see the solution when you feel calmer. Find a peaceful place in your home or outside where you can spend some time allowing your emotions to exist without judgment. Take a breath, acknowledge them, and let go of those that no longer support you. I am gentle with my feelings is the affirmation. That was a good one. Cece, thanks for letting me come visit. The last thing I saw as I just cut out of your energy was like the night sky. So feel free, go check out the stars if you can. Go meditate. See if anything comes to you. You might be surprised of what may pop up. You're so welcome. Thank you for letting me come visit. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Wednesday. We're having a mediumship development class coming up on May 24th. There's 3 or 4 spots left to it. I have to recount. Tomorrow I'm doing an energy basics class here for super fans, if you want to come hang out for that. And then our next guided meditation and energy work in the Patreon is on Sunday, and the next live stream for readings within the Patreon is on Friday. Claire, do you want your card, my friend? Thanks for being patient with me. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Wednesday. We're hanging out, pulling cards. We did some readings. If you're someone who is looking for more in-depth stuff, feel free to check out the private booking link. I do shadow alchemy sessions, which is where we really go into your auric field together and start pulling out shadows and bringing them to light, and how to work with them and integrate them into your space. I offer soul designs, which is a mix of your human design and your soul contracts. It tells you why you're built the way you are, and how to start working with that in the contracts that your soul has agreed upon to come into in this lifetime. That's something you also get if you're a member of Soul Sanctuary. So there's tons of opportunities to do energy stuff, to learn about things, to do meditation. So come hang out with us. All right, Claire, let's see what we got. And then if you're someone who's brand new to this, I have a free guided meditation to meet your spirit guides over on YouTube and Patreon if you want to check it out. Claire, this is the Uncover card. Nostalgia, Sentimentality, and Memory. Let's see. Let go of forcing it and get in touch with what you enjoyed as a child. Try making a list and start having fun, and do not worry or think of any fears. Do not block yourself by having doubts, and do for the sheer enjoyment of doing. You can literally be successful at anything. The choice is yours to do what you love. Guidance and help from Spirit and the universe are always on your side. You are the only one standing in your way. Keep it secret and don't worry. You are always guided and loved. Spirit guides are telling you they want to see you smile, laugh, and play. Practice being happy. Like attracts like. Don't pay attention to the collective or popular beliefs. You have to listen to yourself and start believing in yourself. Silence the noise and do what brings you joy. Life is too short to care about the opinions of others. Do whatever makes you feel good as long as you aren't hurting others. The affirmation is, I release all old habits and beliefs that have held me back, and I know what it is meant for me will find me. Claire, I see a theme. I see a theme. That was a really good card. Thank you for being patient with me. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. If you're new here, it's nice to meet you. My name is Molly. I crawled out of the spiritual closet a little over a year ago now to start helping people bridge the gap between spiritual connection and genuine human connection. And the gap is the connection to yourself. Everybody has the capability to do these things. Everybody has the capability to talk to their guides. Everybody can do energy work. Everybody can do mediumship. You just have to start doing the internal work to get there. That's it. So that is really what we promote in this community, is connecting people back to themselves. And also, talking about this stuff, doing this work can make you feel alone. So that's the other reason that this community exists. So you have a group of people just like you on the same path, maybe not the same place, but the same path that you can learn and grow with. So come hang out with us. There's so many places to hang out. Patreon, YouTube, Discord here. So many places. So come hang. I hope so, Claire. That's one of the best things I can tell everybody to do. Find joy in something of the day. I saw a bluebird for the first time today. It was the coolest thing. Not a blue jay, a bluebird. And it was super pretty. I don't remember ever seeing one of those before. I even tried to take a picture of him, but it wasn't very good. So that was super fun. It's the little things, you know? The little things. Dinky, do you want your card for the day? Tomorrow is Throwback Thursday, so we'll be doing past life readings tomorrow, and then later on in the evening I'm going to be doing a class for super fans. If you're someone who wants to come do your energy basics, feel free. And then also, if you're someone who is a part of Ember on Patreon, you get access to Ether 101, which is the energy basics class, and Ember is on a 7-day free trial if you want to check it out. Oh my gosh, I love that. Sometimes, like, the most unexpected things pop up. I was walking today and there was a leaf on the ground in a perfect heart. And I was like, oh, thanks, universe. Ooh, Dinky, that went flying. Dinky, this is the Apprentice card. Higher education, beliefs, and wisdom. Let's see. This card is not about the kind of learning you gain from reading a book. It's about listening to and learning from your higher self. It's about learning to place your trust in a higher power. This is what you are learning, and all will be yours, and your heart's desires are manifesting through beginning to understand how the universe works. Dream your biggest dream and hold it in your heart. You must remain clear on the vision. It lights you beyond measure, and you can achieve it. You are deserving, and a plan will help you focus, so do not detour. Spirits are guiding you to light, and you have come so far, and they are so proud. If you feel lost, pursue your bliss and follow what you enjoy. It is that simple. Do not focus on monetary value or gain, and do not focus on desired outcomes or success. Simply do it because you love to do it. Try making a list of what you love to do, and if you don't know what you love to do, try everything. The vibration of learning allows us to appreciate what is, and low vibrational beings experience agitation through higher learning because their belief system and consciousness aren't aligned with universal truth. High vibrational beings know it's a waste of time trying to teach people who have not ascended about the universal truth. The information you're learning and the knowledge you're gaining is for your benefit and for those who are on a higher plane of consciousness. That was also a good one. I think you were twinning with Jen Marie for that one, I think. I am sorry that I moved the Patreon live stream to Friday, but I just know in my heart of hearts, and I also asked my guides real quick, that I do not have the capacity to hold coherence for 12 energy sessions today. I just know I don't. So that is why I'm going to move it to Friday, because I want you guys to get the best of the best for your energy work, and I don't want to slack off. and I just have a feeling that after 2 or 3, I would be toast or strudel today. So that is the reason I am moving them. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to move that live stream to Friday. So if you are someone who's over in the Patreon, don't forget, if you're a part of Ember, you're due your energy work every month. And if you're someone who's a part of Soul Sanctuary, you'll get a reading and energy work every month. So we do multiple live streams throughout the month so that you guys can grab them. And I have moved today's to Friday just for my own sanity, so I apologize. But we have a bunch of them scheduled for the month, so I promise there will be one that you can get into. And don't forget, Ember's on a 7-day free trial if you're someone who wants to check it out without any commitment of any kind. Is there any super fans who haven't gotten their card yet who would like one? And then I want to remind you too that there's a bunch of stuff available in the private booking link that I don't usually do on TikTok. And so that is mediumship, some animal stuff. Sometimes we do it on here. And then soul contracts and soul designs are really the other thing. And also, if you're someone who is a little introverted and the idea of getting a reading face to face is scary, I offer reports. So what that looks like is, if you're someone who wants to know what your spirit guides have to say, but you don't want to do a one-on-one with me because that's intimidating, I get it, don't worry. What I do is, when you book those reports, whatever time you book the report for is the time that it winds up in your email. So I do the reading, I take down all the information about your energy, your guides, or your past lives, whichever snapshot you get, and then I send it to you in this really pretty PDF. I think, hold please, I'm trying to see if I have one readily available. Let me see. I could show you this. So if you're someone who wants to know what the soul contracts look like, I do think you did, Lee. I think you did. They're so fun. If you're someone who wants to see what the soul contracts look like, it's about a 5-page PDF. And so I need some information from you when I do it. So when you book them, I will either reach out to you if I don't have it all, but I need your whole name as it's written on your birth certificate and the time, date, and city and state you were born in. And then from there, I'm able to build this soul contract, right? And so I get to go through what is your soul destiny and then how to grow with it. We get to look at what are your spiritual goals. We look at your spiritual karma, right? We look at your spiritual talents. We look at physical karma, physical challenges. There is so much information as a part of your soul contracts. And then too, once you have the numbers, you are able to go even further if there's one that piques your interest. So this is just one part. This is the soul contracts piece. Those have been really helpful for people. You also get it if you join Soul Sanctuary. And I'm going to see if I can find... let me see if I can find it. Good Lord, there's so many. Hold on. Well, I can show you an alignment audit, and that will give you the same idea. Alignment audits won't come back until the end of the year, but I promise we'll do them again this year because people really loved them last year. So if you're someone who's like, I want to see these, like the spirit guide snapshot or the past life snapshot, they look... Now I just lost it. They look like... Oh, all right, we'll do this one. They look like this. So they come in this really pretty PDF. And so I give you information about what's in your energy and then all the things that your spirit guides want you to know. This isn't a part of it, but this gets longer. This tells you what your guides want you to know and then what is hanging out in your energy. So if you're someone who likes reports, feel free to check those out. I think the soul design personally is my favorite one. It gives you a mix of your human design and your soul contracts all together. It's about a 7-page report. It takes me a couple hours to do it, but I really love to do them. And the human design one looks like this. I gotta make sure this has names in it, so I'm gonna back it up a little bit, but it tells you, oh God, you really can't see. It gives you who you are as a whole based on your human design, and then it goes even deeper into why you're built that way. So if that's something you're ever curious about, it's a really good way to start doing shadow work, because it gets rid of some of the shame and guilt about why am I like this? And it's just another way for you to embrace who you are as a human being. Dun, 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 dun. So happy Wednesday. I hope everyone's having a good day. Is there anyone I missed for Oracle cards? Because if so, let me know. And then 2, if anyone has questions for me about their spirit guide stuff, about readings, about whatever, I would be more than happy to chat about it. Oh, Claire, I appreciate you. They're so fun to do though, honestly. They're so fun to do too. I have a blast doing them. Sure. I feel like pulling you a talisman if you're all right with that. Oh, and then if you're someone who wants to do the mediumship development class, I have 3 or 4 spots left for that class, and it's on May 24th. It's a Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Viking, I'm not doing mediumship at the moment, my friend, but I'm sending you all the love in the world. Oh gosh, that just ran away. Ayana, this is the Luna card. Oh my gosh, Claire, that's an honor. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. This card represents the freedom of desire and the illuminated path of moonlit dreams. The night can bring comfort to let your imagination fly and to show your wild side. In the dark, our subconscious can bring to the surface vivid clues of a hidden situation. You can achieve your goals and desires if you pay close attention to the limitation of logic and reason. This card can also represent prophetic dreams and the unrealized wild side that calls upon you. And so it will be is the affirmation. That was a good one, Ayana. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. And don't forget, if you're someone who wants to check out the Patreon, Ember's on a 7-day free trial. So feel free to check it out. There is no commitment of any kind. You can check it out, browse around, see how you feel. There is so much to access over there. So many things, let alone there's 31 podcast episodes now. I think that's crazy. Thank you guys for listening to me, honestly. When my spirit guide started telling me we were going to do this work, one of the biggest things they said to me is, if you build it, they will come. And I was like, okay. And I have to be honest, I was like, that doesn't sound great. Like, I don't know, that sounds like a crapshoot. And they weren't kidding. And so this is the other thing I like to tell people too, okay? If you're someone who is, trying to start something new, you're trying to start your own business, you're trying to go out on a new career path, if it makes you uncomfortable and it's a little scary, please, there you go, Ayana. It will, oh, I lost my train of thought again. Crapola. Yep, she gone. She flew away. She flew right out my brainstem. Gone. She left the building. Couldn't have been that important. Anyway, tomorrow's Throwback Thursday, so we do past life readings tomorrow. That's exciting. And then we're going to do an energy basics class as well tomorrow for super fans. And then what's up on Friday? We're doing Oh yeah, word, thank you. And then on Friday, we're gonna do readings for people over on Patreon. Even if it sounds scary and it sounds improbable, follow your passion. That's the best way I can explain that. Like, if it lights your heart on fire and it makes you super excited, please do it. I'm gonna give you a prime example, okay? And this also means what readers have to say about it too. All right. So I'm just going to be completely transparent, and I don't call people out by name because that's their own karma. But I'm going to tell you a story that happened very recently. If you know me and if you've been here for a while, you know that I love to teach. Teaching is one of my favorite things to do. I love watching people get their confirmations. I love watching people step into their power. It is something I love to do. Love it. It makes me so happy. My guides and I have talked about it at length. And you know, there are so many things that being able to teach and share things with people has given to me. I, for shits and gigs, had a reading by a psychic on here a couple weeks ago, and this person, so first off, my first red flag is that she got very upset with me that I didn't have a question and I just asked for whatever came through. She was very mad about that, said she couldn't do that. So I was like, well, I guess like whatever you get on my career. And so she told me that I should be good at marketing, and that I'm at a crossroads and that my light is completely burnt out. My light bulb's out. I'm burnt out. There's no light anymore. And then she asked what I do for a living, and I very was just like, I teach. She's like, yeah, I don't see you doing that. I really think there's something else that you should be doing. You know, I just don't see that for you. And you know, your light's really burnt out. And I was like, what? And so this is why I also tell people, please use your discernment, because if I had listened to that, I would have robbed myself of so many experiences in the last month. We just had like a really, really great class on Sunday. We have fun teaching all the time. And so if I had completely taken everything she said as fact, it would have really messed me up, like big time. And for a second, I even like had to go, what? Because it was like so weird to be like, yeah, your light's just burnt right out. And I'm like, it is? Really? Because I'm pretty sure it's glowing, but okay. And so this is why I always tell you guys to look inward too. And the way I'll say this too is, even with me, right? When you get a reading, go double check with your guides. Ask them for confirmations of things from the reading. It really is a way to start honing in on your discernment. And so I will tell you that my guides had no problem laughing at me after that reading, because I don't give myself enough credit sometimes for my own messages, right? Like, I'll believe the messages I get for everybody else all the time. When I get my own messages, I'm like, you sure about that? You positive? Are you sure? Should we check again? I'm really good at that. And so this being able to have that experience was a wake-up call for me to stop doubting myself. And that people will always have something to say, but you know what your true compass is. So, you know, I know what I love to do, and I will tell you that the universe provides in totality. When I first decided to, you know, open Ether and Ash, I think that's where the buoyancy principle came in. My guides were like, the buoyancy principle. I'm like, what is that? And I had to look up, basically, and the euphemism is that if you completely trust and surrender in the universe, it will support you. But you have to be willing to let go of all the preconceived notions of what you think is. And a lot of that too is trying to please everybody. That's one of the biggest things I especially see for spiritual practitioners. I don't want 300, 400, 500 people in this room. I don't, respectfully. I don't, because one, you can't communicate in an intimate space with 400 or 500 people. You can't authentically answer questions. You can't authentically connect into people. And then two, right, I also don't like this stuff to be a sideshow. Like, I find mediumship and these gifts to be something that is a gift. And I don't, how do I say this without sounding like an asshole? I don't just throw them around because there might be money at the other end of the tunnel. If you ever go to my private booking link, you will see that I have like a little disclaimer before you book with me that says I might refund you because we're not energetically aligned. And that happens every now and then. Hello, Happy. Because I find sometimes that people will keep coming to me for guidance, but they don't ever digest it. And after a couple times, I don't want to take advantage of you because you just keep looking for an answer that I've already given you, but it takes you to do the work. This is one of the biggest things about, I think, that I find different too, is I don't mentor people because I don't think that there should be a hierarchy. I don't think there should be a weird power issue. I just share the information in a teaching setting. I also offer them in private settings, but I expect you also to put in the work. And so if you're someone who teaches, like we do teaching in a private session, you get homework. You get things that you have to do in between sessions. And if you come to the next session and you haven't done it, we're session canceled. Because I can't do this for you through osmosis. So if I am making the commitment to show up for you, you have to make the commitment to show up for yourself, not me. I need you to show up for you. So this is why I always tell people I'm not for everyone. And for a really long time, I tried to be for everyone, and I'm just not. It's also a whole, like the other reason I stopped doing mediumship so much is because I was only attracting people who wanted mediumship, and there is so much more to what I do than that. I use mediumship in its timing when it's healing. What I don't like is when people go from medium to medium to medium to medium to get a reading from the same dead person every week. That to me is spiritual bypassing, not growth. So that's why I usually only offer mediumship in private sessions now. Happy, have you ever seen me do a mini read? Thank you for the manifesting. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on over into your energy, and I'm going to tell you the first 3 things that I notice and kind of talk through them a little bit of what they usually mean. And then I'm going to pull you a talisman. If that sounds good to you, let me know and I'll come over and visit. Okay. One of the first things I notice is your root chakra lit right up like a Christmas tree. That usually is where we hold fears, we hold foundational stability problems, and it's usually one of the places where we kind of find that we'll hold ourselves and make ourselves small because of the energy in that space. So when I follow it, there's a cord that goes from there to your solar plexus. So that tells me that there are some core beliefs that you have about yourself, self-worth, self-esteem, just general belief systems about yourself that are connected to some of those fears that you're still holding on to in that space. The next thing that was super noticeable was here. And so this is our space where we are able to communicate and share our authenticity. And if we're afraid to be perceived, if we're afraid that our opinions don't matter, that no one cares what we have to say, we'll close up and hold ourselves in. You might even notice that you maybe sit like this sometimes. And that's just that way that our energy is holding in this space. If there's anything I can suggest to move through these, it's just to start taking stock of what's going on in your body in the moment. So as you're being triggered by emotions, as you're being triggered by certain events, find where it is existing in your body and then sit with it and ask it why it's here and what it's trying to teach you, what is trying to be heard. This is something I see a lot of the time with people who get like anger or rage. It's not shameful or to be shamed to be angry. Angry shows you where where you're abandoning yourself or where there's an injustice. It's there to teach you something, not to be something that we're afraid of. So make sure that you're finding a way to connect into your emotions and find a way to express them, whether it's with a safe person or whether you're able to like journal or write it down, whatever that may look like. All right, happy, let's see. This is, okay, this is the overcoming fear talisman. The unknown can be frightening, and it's easy for those feelings to intensify in the darkness or when we feel exhausted. Make sure all of your needs are met and you are well rested. It takes patience, consistency, and validation to rewire the old path of your thoughts. Perhaps a past experience is triggering the current emotions, so acknowledge the reasons you feel this way. Note the way you speak to yourself. You are strong and powerful, and you can overcome anything, but also remember to be gentle and patient with who you are. Move slowly at your own pace and see yourself shining in the bright, warm light of this glowing candle. The affirmation is, I can manage my feelings. Happy. That was fabulous. Thanks for letting me come over and visit. I'm sending you all the love in the world. Overcoming fear can be hard, for sure. You're welcome. I hope everyone's having an absolutely beautiful Wednesday. So tomorrow we're going to do past life readings. What else? Oh, we're going to do an energy basics class tomorrow too. And don't forget, if you're someone who wants to look at private booking stuff, please feel free. There's reports in there. There's soul designs. There's soul contracts. There's so many options if you are someone who's looking to start connecting in here and start understanding who you are at a foundational level. So feel free if you have questions. I would be more than happy to chat about it. The Patreon is where I hold all of the classes, basically all of the recorded classes. So if you're looking to do Mediumship 101 or Energy 101, there's energy work classes on there. There's protection classes on there. There's so much stuff. So if you're someone who likes to do your stuff at your own pace, feel free to go check it out and see what sticks out to you. And Ember's on a 7-day free trial too, so there's no commitment. And don't forget that on the YouTube, there's a bunch of free meditations and the reruns of the live stream as well. Oh, look at that. 4-4 has been such a big number lately, I gotta tell you. Big on the 4-4. What's everybody up to today on this dreary day? Now I'm getting the tunes jamming through my head. You know, we've already been on here almost 2 hours. That's cray-cray. Oh, I'm sending you all the love in the world. That's hard. Recovery time is hard, but sometimes it makes you sit and be present. For sure. Oh, I'm excited to see what it tastes like. You're so welcome. Oh, and also don't forget, if you're someone who hangs out on the Patreon, you're due your energy work every month. And if you're in Soul Sanctuary, you're due energy work and a reading. And so please feel free to go check it out. And our first live stream to do readings is going to be on Friday. It was supposed to be tonight, but I do not have the capacity to do like 10 different energy works today. I already just know I don't. So I don't want to show up like unprepared for that. So that is why I'm moving the reading to Friday. So it's not you, it's me. I just want to make sure that I have a fully functioning brain. And if you haven't noticed, it's been a little spacey the last 2 days. Been a little spacey. It's very easy for me to squirrel. Welcome back, Hunter. Walking, I walk every day. I always will say, take the walk. Take it. I kept challenging myself on my walk today. It was making me, every time I would get to the end of one lap, I'm like, should we do another one? Let's do another lap. So I always say, go for the walk. Dinky got Red Bull from different countries. That's the one she's on. The new Red Bull in the US, isn't that the lime one? Isn't it in like a yellow can or something? I think it's in a yellow can. Has Red Bull ever made a grape flavor? Anyone know? Hunter, have you had a card today? Do you want one? I do find a little interesting. Alani came out with that lime slush and then Red Bull was like, bet. Hold on. Alright, Hunter, let's see. They do. Red Bull, if I do energy drinks, Red Bull's usually my go-to. I really don't. Energy drinks sound good for one, like at one time, and then like the next day, they're just not it. I go through very weird phases of that. So energy drinks are the Dinkinator's job. She's the energy drink connoisseur. I used to like Monster Assault. That was my favorite one, and then they got rid of it, which devastating. Hunter, which one would you like, left or right? The last time I drank an energy drink was when the Sakura Red Bulls came out. The sugar-free Sakura Red Bulls. This is the heart card. Emotional awakening, intuition, and following your heart. Let's see. Your heart, instincts, and passions are the barometers to direct your actions, not your mind. By embodying this way of life, you're showing others that it's also safe for them to do so. There is a way to build a foundation and pursue your desires that allows for freedom. Living authentically, whether or not your choices and actions make sense to others, is an aspect of your soul's mission. The world that you create is your art form or piece of art. You live and thrive outside the confines of convention, and you help set people free from the limited and mundane life by your example. You create a space for others to transform, and you are destined to be a leader without even trying to be one, which is achieved simply by being yourself. You help to teach people not to use or wear social masks and simply walk away from those who don't understand you. Family stability and ties may not have been strong in your life, and therefore you learn to develop a self-love that gives you the freedom to be nomadic if you choose and not tied down to certain people or places. You know unconditional love is the source of truth, and whatever your heart speaks, you follow, regardless of how risky or unconventional the path appears to others. Your destiny is to live free and live your dreams, and that is the example you give to others. Lee, thanks for the hand heart. YouTheBomb.com. I appreciate you. Hunter, that was pretty fabulous, I must say. I don't think I ever tried the Monster coffee. I have to tell you, I got a sample of that Javi protein coffee, and it's really good. Like, I'm a little upset about it because now I like actually look forward to it, which means now it's something I might have to invest in. It's so good, Happy. I even put a bunch of different flavors in my showcase too because it's so good. I have the mocha one right now. I will tell you that I've only tried the mocha one, but it just tastes like chocolate coffee. I go for my walks every morning, and as soon as I come home, I've been making it, and it's great. It is. I just mix it with, you can mix it with water or milk. I just mix it with fat-free milk, and it's so good. They have some deals going on right now too, but I also realized you can buy them in like Walmart and stuff too. Feel free. I've tried the mocha one. I hear the tiramisu is the best one, so that's the one I'm going to try next. But right now I have mocha, and it's super good. So, and honestly, you don't need to put sweetener or anything in it. I literally just do that in milk. Sometimes I'll put a little extra monk fruit in it. That milk and some ice and you're golden. Just mix it up. It's great. It is so good. I will tell you that I like it better than the clear protein packets. I really like the only downside is it has coffee in it, so it's not like you can drink it at nighttime unless you're a rebel like Dinky. But the Jobby protein coffee is super good. Like, I'm thoroughly impressed. I was really afraid it wasn't going to be good. I really was nervous. Da-da-da. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Wednesday. Oh, lots of classes we've been doing this month. We did the past life class this Sunday. We have a mediumship development class coming up on the 24th. And the next class after that is going to be the spirit guide class. So stay tuned for that one. And there's 3 or 4 spots left. For the mediumship class, it's $33 a person if you want to show up. And then don't forget, if you're someone who wants to start learning and growing along your journey, but you want to do it at your own pace, check out the Patreon. In my opinion, Soul Sanctuary is the best bang for your buck because you get your soul design report within the first week of joining. So that's the first thing you get. You also get access to every class. There's over 20 of them. You get access to every guided meditation, every podcast episode, every shadow work journal. You also get access to all the energy work, and we also do soul sessions for those in Soul Sanctuary. And what that looks like is it's a live stream just with the people in Soul Sanctuary. Sometimes we do shadow work stuff. Sometimes we do some galactic stuff. There was a time where we learned how to go to the Pleiadians and go to a med bed. And what else? We've learned how to find trapped emotions. And then there are some times where we're just going through what people are dealing with and we talk about it. It takes time. There's there's a search bar. I have everything set up in collections. So, like if you're someone who wants to go to the daily collective, you'll find it in the collective collection. They're set up in a bunch of different ways. So feel free to do the search bar, in the Patreon is the easiest way to find things. But if I look right now, let's see what we got. Hold on. I'm gonna look. So, there is 15 classes. Sorry. There's 15 classes. There's 10 shadow work journals. There's 27 energy works. There's 30 guided meditations. There's 31 podcast episodes. So there is a ton of stuff over there to access. Oh, Happy, thank you so much, my friend. Let me know how you like them. Truthfully, I think the Javi's great, and I'm going to keep buying more of it. I really was thoroughly surprised by it. I also try to only keep things that are quality in the showcase. Like, I'm going to be so honest here. I'm going to give you guys another real review. You guys see those coldest bottles all over TikTok? Okay, I did too, and I was influenced. And so I bought the mystery bottle and I gifted it to Dinky for her birthday. Dinky likes it. I bought one of their 20-ounce bottles for my hot tea and it broke within 10 days of me getting it. I'm going to tell you, it didn't really keep things hot. It's very flimsy. It's not very heavy. And the top already broke on it. So I can't exactly recommend the coldest. I've already gone back to my Camelback bottle. I've already made the purchase to get another Camelback thermos because that just wasn't it. The other thing as far as cups go, this is my Hydra Peak cup, and I will forever keep buying them. Go to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, whatever. Yeah, sometimes they are seasonal, but it's like $20-25, and this has never let me down. It keeps things. I've had water and ice in here since 10 o'clock this morning. Maybe, yeah, 10 o'clock this morning is when I last refilled this. This bottle's never let me down. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, you'll find it there. Don't spend the $50 on the fucking coldest bottle. These things, like this, I use them. That's why that was so easy to access. Because that is one of my biggest pet peeves. I move a lot in my sleep. And if the bed sheet pulls back, no bueno. If I wake up on the mattress cover, I give myself the ick. Happy, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you have a great day. Let me know how you like the Javi. Oh, that sounds interesting. No, I don't think I've ever seen that one. I don't think I've ever seen that. Because that is one of my biggest pet peeves, is when that happens. I hate it. I don't know who invented bed sheets, but they didn't do a great job in that aspect. Did note. It's already 4 o'clock. I am tired. Like, not like mentally tired. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Like, my brain feels very awake, a little spacey, but like my body's just tired. It's just one. Now I have that Limp Bizkit song. It's just one of those days. Choo choo. Ugh. Hi, Monica. Rightly. It's almost nap time. If I went to take a nap now, I wouldn't sleep all night long. I probably am going to make myself go to bed by like 8 o'clock. Can confirm. Monica, you want your card, my friend? How was your day? Thanks for the heart, me. Ooh, that thing's fancy. Hunter, I'm gonna have to check those out. I'm sending it to Dinky too. Okay, let's see. Oh, Monica, left or right? Oh, what was for lunch? Is Dinky in here? I got mushrooms for dinner. I don't know if I told you that, but I did. This is the shadow card. Wholeness, integration, and repressed emotions. Ooh, I like cook sushi. Dun, dun, dun. Good, well now we'll have more. All right, let's see. As one being, you are absorbing the shadow half of yourself. The aspect of yourself that you'd rather keep concealed emerges and surfaces, forcing you to face it. As difficult as this task is, it is essential to build internal unity and harmony in order to rise to higher realms. Do not allow the suppression of others' views and opinions of the past to rule over and control you. You may actively begin the healing effort after you're completely aware of what you would rather hide from the world. Accept and embrace the dark elements of yourself that you previously felt compelled to hide. You can begin to learn from, forgive, and grow from the trauma of suppression once you know that you have complete control over your own reality. The old wounds and traumas have been released, and they no longer affect the person you are today. Although it can be tough to let go of the deep-rooted pain, remember that you are powerful and capable of manifesting everything you choose. Reality is a product of thought and imagination. Therefore, to gain control over it, you must realize that you are in control. If the anguish of the past suppressed memories and emotions arises, understand that you have the power to acknowledge what happened in the past and that you now live in the present. Sitting with your shadow entails sitting with the side of yourself that's formed as a result of past experiences. As you forgive the old version of yourself for not knowing any better or for not trusting in your inner knowing, you begin merging with your shadow. Monica, that was fabulous. Oh, also, if you are a soul sanctuary person, and even a Patreon person, I promise the incoming shadow work is incoming. I'm making my way through it. I've already gotten through book. I got through the other book. I can't say the name on here. Bye, Claire. Love your face. I got through the other book. This is the second book. Once this book is done, I have one more book, and then I will bring my findings to the people. So stay tuned. I will bring my findings. Give me a couple weeks. I already have lots to say about the first book. Jack, I have to tell you something. You have been driving me up Schitt's Creek for the last 2 hours. I just hope you know that. It's been ridiculous. God. Chompy. McChomperson. The Chompy. Alright, here's the deal. I'm tired. I'm gonna go run away. I'm gonna go hang out with Jack. You probably find me wandering around outside. I have relocated. I have rescheduled the Patreon live tonight to Friday, and I am just being completely transparent that I do not have the coherence to hold 18 energy work sessions tonight. I just do not have it. I don't. So I want to apologize for that. That's why give me till Friday and I will be more than happy to hold them. I just don't physically have it within me to hold the space today. And I'm trying to not force myself to do stuff because that's also not fair to you guys, because that means I don't get to show up in my entirety. So I have moved that live stream to Friday. Friday. So if you're someone who's on the Patreon waiting for your energy work, come hang out with us on Friday. That's just the first live stream of the month. You'll find some more. So I'm going to give you a rundown of a couple things real quick. Lee, thanks for hanging out with me. It's always an honor and a privilege when you come to hang out. So couple things. Feel free to check out the private booking link. You'll find reports on there, soul design, soul contracts. You'll find it all there. You'll find private teaching sessions. You'll find shadow alchemy sessions as well, if that's something you're interested in. Feel free to check out the Patreon. There's 3 different tiers. Ember is on a 7-day free trial if you want to check it out without any commitment. The live class is tomorrow on here about energy basics. Friday is the live stream for Patreon people. Sunday is our next guided meditation and energy work. And I have 3 or 4 spots left for the mediumship development class on the 24th of May. That's live in the Discord. It is $33 a person if you're someone who wants to come hang out for that class. So feel free. All right, my friends, I hope you guys have a beautiful